This is Sacha Baron Cohen. Welcome to Gold Meets Golden.
Hi, I'm Tom Daly here with Gold Meets Golden.
Hello, Gold Meets Golden. I'm Laura Pausini from Italy.
Hey, I'm Matt Bomer, and welcome to this Gold Meets Golden event.
We are here with our hearts supporting you.
This is Nadia Comaneci. Welcome to Gold Meets Golden number 8.
It's Billy Porter here.
Hi, this is Vashti Cunningham. I am so blessed to be a part of Gold Meets Golden,
benefiting Angel City Sports. I hope you enjoy.
Hi, my name is Carmelo. We'll start with the C, and it looks like this. I've been with Angel City Games for 5 years, and here's one of my medals, and here are all my ribbons. I'm very excited to introduce two legendary women, Nicole Kickman and Nadia Comaneci.
Hi, this is Nadia Comaneci. Welcome to Gold Meets Golden number 8. I'm here in Oklahoma in my house, and I'm looking forward to talk with a dear friend that's been my co-host for the event from the beginning, Miss Nicole Kidman.
Hi, Nadia.
Hi, Nicole. Welcome to my house. The gym.
Yes. My daughters would love that house. They both do gymnastics.
Oh, really?
So I'm so excited to talk to you. I'm a huge fan of you.
Thank you. I'm a huge fan.
And just sports. I love sports, but I particularly love gymnastics. And now watching my children learn it, I realize I was never able to do any of it. So my big thing for you is how do you balance excellence with perfection?
I had to discover myself what my limitation is. And the only way I know myself is by trying and challenging myself each day to be a little better and try to be a little faster than anybody else. Because when I think about the perfect 10 from the Olympics, I look at that and, I've done so many repetitions, but, and I thought I did pretty good. I didn't expect to get a 10 because even though—
You deserved a 10.
Thank you. Even though I've done so many times the same routine, each time feels different. Even though it looks the same from outside.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So probably for you too, you do so many repetitions for one take and you feel different. Mm-hmm. And the people from outside can say, this was a great one. And you may say, no, I think I can do better.
Yeah, I think for me, perfection is not something that we try to achieve in as an artist, as an actor, because we don't get judged in that way that you do. So that's why I was interested in, when you feel that it was perfect and then the judges feel that it wasn't, those grappling with those emotions are interesting to me. So obviously it's been a really tough time for athletes, particularly with leading up to the Olympics. What is your advice to the athletes that are heading off to Tokyo? Particularly the gymnasts who have been training and then had that taken away and are now heading there again. It's just been such an awful time for people. But I would think particularly for athletes that have a window of time to perform.
Yeah, for some who are at the end of their career and they just wanted to check the box for 2020, 1 year is a long time. For others who are waiting to be for their first opportunity to be in the Olympics, it may not be as long, because it's their first shot. And also we have to take in consideration that many gymnasts who didn't qualify because they didn't have the age last year, they do have the age this year.
Wow.
So you have to look at who will actually be able to fit in that team.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. So complicated.
Yeah, a lot of things have to be taken in consideration. And,
yes.
For when you look at Simone actually said that she was waiting to check the box last year And now she's like, 1 more year? What do you mean? But what can you do? You have to look at the fact that I'm training for this. This was my goal. And I'm just going to take it a day at a time to be able to be healthy and to just accomplish each day a little bit. And the time will come because there's nothing else you can do. You can't think too far.
Which is a great antidote for everybody. I mean, to approach life. My husband and I were just having a conversation about what we're going to do in 3 months. And it's like, well, we still don't know. And we're still, and I think that sort of not knowing and not being able to make solid plans and all those, just the way in which everything is still so in limbo is what's really, really hard to do. But that's why I'm just fascinated with an athlete and how they mentally, how they cope with the pressure and that sort of goalpost being moved all the time.
Yes, because think about the Olympics are set every 4 years, and you know exactly when they will be.
Yeah.
And you know how to, move your the routines and what you need to learn to be able to pick at that particular time.
Hey guys, I hope you're having an awesome evening. My name is Kevin Vanegas, and I'm here to show you the Golden Angel cocktail. So the first ingredient always is tequila herradura silver, and we're gonna pour 2 ounces of tequila herradura into your provided shaker that we sent you guys. And then what we're going to do is blend it with some of these cocktail ingredients that we sent you guys. So we actually squeeze all the fresh lime juice and it's ready to go, and it's simple and easy. So you pour 2 ounces of that fresh lime juice, 1 ounce of your orange liqueur. Yes, we're fancy. Actually, it's made from Valencia oranges, which is part of your garnish. And then you add some ice, and then you teach your friends how to shake it till you make it. Super simple and easy, delicious, yummy, but it couldn't be a Gold Meets Gold cocktail without some gold. You have 24 karat gold licks, and it's going to be sprinkled on top just like the angels do. And then what you want to do is just sprinkle a little bit of that gold for a lick and make it fun. And the salt that you have is actually a salted caramel salt that I've in the glass. But most importantly, we want to raise our glass, and we would like to cheers to Gold Meets Golden. Please remember to enjoy responsibly. Thank you.
We usually go to every Olympics, because we do some work there, and I'm also in the commission of the IOC. And I may be able, I don't know yet, but I may be able to go to do some kind of work, but I still don't know. So, I like to plan my things, and now it's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like in a bubble. So I know you like to go too, and I know you like sports. And
I do.
And you are a big tennis.
Yes, I love the tennis. I'm a big fan of, I love sports, one, because I love being in an audience, watching as well. I love the camaraderie of sports. I've seen the benefits of my own children being able to master their bodies. And I've seen the way in which sports can help to mentally really keep you calm. And their goals for certain things, learning to manage their expectations, because I think expectations are such a huge, it's very problematic now. I'm always working on lowering my expectations for myself, because I have this sense of, oh my gosh, I really want to achieve excellence here. And then at some point you just go, just let it go. You're going to do your best. And that's all you can do. And as long as but it's still easy to say and hard to do, which I would think.
When I was a child before the Olympics, and I was at the airport with the entire team, and the journalist came to me and said, "What do you think you're going to do at the Olympics?" And I said, talking about lowering, because it's much better to lower, because everything else you do is going to be higher than you expect. So I said, I hope to win a medal, and if it's possible to be gold. And I did much more than that. So you know what I mean? So that's why I always was like that as a child. I grew up like that. I said, I'll do the best as I can. And if I did the best as I trained, then I'm happy with that. It doesn't matter what other people think about it.
Yeah. And
so
I'm
I
sure
think
that's
this is
what
the right way.
Coaches say, right? They're always like, because they have to manage your emotions through the whole, through all of it. And I've seen them when they whisper, the coaches, when they say, don't worry. But the thing I love in gymnastics is when there's the group and the team working together and supporting each other. I see that. And I'm like, wow, that really is genuine support. Everyone needs to do well. That's in when you're that's a really fascinating thing as well, because you have your individual and then you have your group in gymnastics, and that's interesting.
Especially, I know what you're watching when one of the girls jumps on the bars and prepares the bars for the other one. Think about how confident I need to be on that girl that puts enough chalk on the bar so I don't slip her, you know, with the grips, because usually, you know what I mean? Because you can do it, you have to think about it, but you have a girl who knows exactly how much water you need, how much honey you need, and how much chalk you need. So think
There's
about
an enormous
confidence.
amount of trust there.
Yes.
Enormous amount of trust and belief in each other. Fantastic. Well,
anytime you come to Oklahoma, please.
Yes, I am
and try everything.
Grateful. No, I can barely do a handstand. My children tease me about that. Yeah, my daughter's working on her aerials right now.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's
which
good.
is a big, but it's a big thing for her, and she's really been putting the time in, and she really works hard on it. And watching her do it and achieve it has been really, I've just stood back and gone, I have no idea how you're doing it. But the determination, so your determination and your sharing of your knowledge and your wisdom and your experience is just gorgeous, Nadia. So we all thank you for that.
Thank you very much for everything you do and for motivating the women to be who they are.
Yeah, their authentic selves, and support each other and give, because the greatest thing you can do as a human being is give and support, I think. So
that's right. So we will teach you a handstand when you come to Oklahoma.
I need a lot of trust and a lot of support.
You'll have that. You'll have that. You'll have that. Thank you very much for everything you do, and I'm looking forward to see you soon.
Yeah. We'll come visit you, and we'll all be watching Tokyo. So very excited about that. I hope you end up going there. So we'll see, right?
We'll see.
Yeah. But
I
send love to all of the athletes and all of the people hoping to participate in the Olympics. And, you know, they have our love and support from all around the world. I just want to say best of luck in Tokyo to all of the athletes that will be competing. We are here with our hearts supporting you.
And I'm so happy to be here on behalf of Gold Meets Golden, supporting Angel City Sports.
Hi, I'm Elijah. I'm 8 years old. I play wheelchair racing at Angel City Sports. Angel City Sports allows me to be involved and active. Please join me in welcoming actor Sacha Baron Cohen and Olympic diver Tom Daley.
This is Sacha Baron Cohen. Welcome to Gold Meets Golden.
Hi, I'm Tom Daley here with Gold Meets Golden, and I just wanted to give a massive shout out to the Angel City Sports athletes. I hope you're all training hard and working hard, and I cannot wait to see you all compete.
Nice to meet you, by the way.
Nice to meet you too. I was watching the other day your latest Borat film, and I was watching it with my husband, and we were sat on the sofa, and I do not know how you are able to stay in character and not burst out laughing?
I basically developed a technique of just literally just pinching myself, biting my tongue, you know, punching myself until finally I've managed to stop any giggling.
Like, for example, you've got one shot at getting it right, you know, going into Mike Pence's speech. Like, how do you, it takes a lot of balls.
Well, so does wearing Speedos for you. But yeah, I mean, it's practice, really. So that thing, like, when you've got one shot to do it right, my experience is to just prepare, and you're trying to limit the things you have to think about in the moment. I imagine doing a dive may be similar to that.
Yeah, you don't want to second guess anything. I mean, I use visualization a lot, like before every single dive, pretty much, especially in competition. And you know, I mean, that's what we train for every day, is doing, you know, repetitions of dive after dive after dive, and you almost practice it so many times that you can't get it wrong. And you know, and I think that must have been a similar thing.
Yeah, there's a scene. I don't know if you've seen the first Borat movie.
Yes.
Oh, really? So there's a scene where I go to an antique shop and I fall over and I smash up the whole thing. And I knew, again, I had one take. And I thought the only way to do it, and I'd heard about visualization. Athletes visualize things and it reduces the likelihood they're going to get it wrong. And so I closed my eyes for a while, and obviously I hadn't seen any of it. And then if you see the scene back now, you realize there's only one way to do that routine. You know, it's a really hard technical thing. I had to hit that, had to make my mark, and obviously had to visualize where it was all done. So I was stealing a technique from sports.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Because for me with diving, I know that what I'm doing exactly when I get on the board. And of course, you know what you're doing with your acting, but you know, not like you can be like, oh wait, sorry, can we do that again? When things are smashed on the floor and the shop owner's like, what on earth's going on? I loved it. And we also watched Trial of Chicago 7 as well, which again was a completely, that's the thing, going from Borat to that is a massive flip on its head. So being able to do like that whole spectrum is very impressive.
Oh, thank you. I mean, the thing was, I mean, nobody knew this while I was shooting Chicago 7, but a couple of days beforehand, I was shooting Borat. And I had to keep Borat completely secret, so I didn't tell any of the director and of the other actors what I'd been up to. But yeah, it was quite an odd shift to do at the time.
I was going to say, at the beginning of lockdown, I took up knitting and crochet just as a random hobby. And so if there's going to be another Borat and you need a mankini, I've got you covered.
Meanwhile, would you ever dive in a mankini?
I mean, I've never tried. I have worn a mankini once. I mean, I feel like everyone's worn a mankini at some point because you have to. It's like become an iconic thing. I don't know how practical it would be when you're spinning around and twist. Like, I feel like things might not stay in place.
But that could add a little bit of jeopardy. It would be a bit like why people watch NASCAR races. They're waiting for the crash. You know, you could be waiting for the slippage.
Yeah, there could be slippage. The shoulder strap could come off. You never know. I guess
they should do the Mankini diving championships. That would be.
We should message the International Olympic Committee and see if they'll add it in for Paris or LA.
And do you have specially designed Speedos to maximize the dive?
No, with diving, you just want them tight and right to not have anything be out of place. And you don't want anything to be too far away from your body because you hit the water at 35 miles an hour. If you hit the water at the wrong angle, it's pretty painful.
Wow, what's the worst experience you've had diving? Have you ever hit your head on the board? That would be my...
I've got a scar on my head here.
Oh my!
I don't know if you can see it there.
Oh,
I've got a scar there.
Hit your head on the board.
Yeah, I've got a scar on the top of my head here. I've hit my head on the board. I've broken ribs. There's something about like adrenaline, roller coasters, scary movies, whatever. Like, I just love it, and I think that diving.
My job.
Oh god! But when it comes to like embarrassing things, I could never not care as much as you do to be able to go and do that without any kind of like that. Really takes guts to be able to go into a setting.
Just complete stupidity.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love it.
You must have something wrong with us where you carry on diving after splitting your head open, and I carry on performing after something like the cage fight in Brunei.
I mean,
that was scary. That was
what we should do is we should get you. I mean, we should get you involved in a bit of diving. But if Borat was to go,
I cannot dive. I cannot dive.
Well, I could teach you that bit.
I can do the, like, you know, where you are on the corner and you're, you know, sitting on your, you know, you're hunched over and you just fall in. I can almost do that. I cannot dive. Too terrifying for me.
If Borat had to go to the Olympic Games and compete, what sport would he do?
I think it'd be mankini diving or probably gypsy catching.
Oh, okay. I mean, I could be a coach for the mankini diving.
Yes, exactly.
And you know, it has to be the standard.
And have you been able to practice at all? What are you doing during COVID?
Yeah, so I mean, the first lockdown, we weren't allowed to practice at all. Everything was shut for about 4 or 5 months. But then on this current, like the second and third lockdown that we've had, we've been able to train, we've been really lucky actually, because all of our competitions have been cancelled. And, you know, the Olympics is, you know, we've been told that it's going ahead and then we kind of just have to keep preparing as if it is. If this year has taught us anything, for me, it's just been anything can be taken away at any moment. And you just got to keep going and keep training as if, you know, take each day as it comes, because you never know what tomorrow's going to hold.
That's what we did in the Borat movie, actually. Everyone else in Hollywood shut down. And we decided to keep the edit going. And we had 3 editors keeping on editing the movie. But I think that optimism is important for both of us. This event is benefiting Angel City Sports, which is helping disabled youth prepare for the Paralympics. What advice, Tom, would you give them for this journey?
I think the one piece of advice that I could give anyone is build a real support team around you, and don't be afraid to lean on your family members, your friends for support, because at the end of the day, those people around you are going to be what makes the difference. And to, you know, work as hard as you possibly can. And, you know, that moment when things all fall into place will be worth any of the sacrifices that you've had to make, worth all of the early mornings, the blood, sweat and tears, all of that will be worth it. And, you know, it's amazing to think that Angel City Sports are going to be helping people that are going to be, you know, possibly competing in as early as 2024. And then, well, hopefully by 2028 in LA as well. So it's it's a great cause.
Tom, thank you very much, my friend. Great to meet you.
After a long day, I sure do like my neck pillow. I have a lot of Legos, and I have a Lego person with hair that looks like this, and then I do this, which makes me look like the Lego person. Let's go get the hair.
This goes out to the special athletes at the Angel City Sports. This is Danny Green from Los Angeles Lakers. I just want to let you guys know that we are proud of you. We appreciate you. And obviously your coaches, your family, your loved ones, they really are proud of you and love you as well. And they want you to stay Angel City strong. So stay encouraged, stay positive, enjoy your loved ones and celebrate as best as you can. But continue to push through, push forward, stay strong, and I'll see you guys soon. Take it easy.
Hi, Gold Meets Golden and the athletes of Angel City Sports. I know you guys are training really, really hard, and I just wanted to say I'm unbelievably proud and so supportive, and I'm just in awe of everything that you guys are doing, and I'm sending you so much love, and I'll be watching and cheering you on.
So my name's Cami Wood. I'm 10 years old, and I'm from Leo, Indiana. So I was diagnosed with scleroderma when I was 4, and I actually chose to cut off my leg when I was 7. Making friends wasn't that hard because I already have a few friends because I was already in school before my leg was amputated. The sports I do with Angel City Sports are sitting, volleyball, and running. And I just got a bike, and it's so fun to ride. I hope I can do some more stuff with Angel City Sports. I love the sports Angel City Sports does. Now I'm excited to introduce actor Billy Porter and track and field star Vosh Ty Cunningham.
Hey, everybody. It's Billy Porter here.
Hi, this is Vashti Cunningham. I am so blessed to be a part of Gold Meets Golden,
benefiting Angel City Sports. I hope you enjoy. Hey, girl.
Hi.
How are you?
I am very good. I'm very happy to be talking to you right now.
I am so happy to be talking to you too. First and foremost, I went and did some research.
Okay.
On what it is that you do. And you know, full disclosure, I don't know a lot about sports.
Okay.
That's not my world. However, I marvel always at what it is that you guys can do with your bodies. You know, I relate to your mother. I know she was at DTH, at Dance Theater of Harlem. You know, I am a dancer, so, you know, I am an athlete. I know a lot of people don't see, you know, a lot of mainstream people do not recognize dancing as an athletic sport, but it is.
It is.
So please walk me through the running at full speed, thrusting your body backwards over a bar that is 6 feet in the air. How do you get to that place? How did you get there? And what does it feel like to soar through the air, as they used to say at the circus, with the greatest of ease? What is that?
It is definitely a sport that is, or a discipline. High jump is a discipline. It's a discipline like no other. I started high jumping when I was in 4th grade. Very, very young. Wow. Very young. And the first time that I remember going to the track, I just ran on the track. And I've never been to a track, never saw one. I never knew that the surface was going to be softer and squishier than the sidewalk. You know, I never knew that they could do anything like that. So going there, it was a very, very exciting time for me. And then after the running, I got into jumping. And that's when I really, really got excited and started loving it, because I was a 4th grader training with juniors and seniors in high school. My dad really, really put the focus of that discipline on me, and I trained in only that discipline. And by the time that I got to 7th grade, 6th grade, I was undefeated. There was nobody in the US who could beat me. Wow. And I know, and I know that was because of the way that I got called into the sport. And I'm a very competitive person. So for me at practice, I'm looking at the high school girls and I'm like, you guys think I'm cute? I'm trying to beat you in this practice. I'm trying to out jump you. I'm trying to make my dad smile.
Right.
Like, I'm trying to hear everybody say, oh, dang, she's young. Like I'm thinking all these things as a little kid because I'm so competitive. And the more and more, every time I would go up 2 inches or I'd go up an inch, it was like a different feeling going over the bar. It was like a split second of being free a little bit longer than the last time, or a time of, it was quiet, more quieter when I got up to a higher height. And my mind was at so much peace when I got up there. So I have a question for you. I wanted to know what helped you maintain and keep pushing forward in times where it felt like the goals that you had were far away, or it seemed like they were out of reach. Like, I want to know where your mind was at and how you navigated through those hard times.
Yeah. The one thing that I always knew is that I had a gift, just like you. I was given a gift. It started with the voice, the singing voice. I started singing in church. And I noticed when I sang, the people around me relaxed. You know, because I was a big old sissy growing up in the Pentecostal church. So there was a lot of anxiety around my behavior. I did a talent show in the 4th grade.
Okay.
4th or 5th grade, and I sang for school for the first time. And the bullying stopped because I could sing. So I knew early that I had a superpower, a secret weapon that if I focused on it in the hood, if I focused on it, maybe I'd be able to dream outside of my circumstance. But I am proof positive that when you speak life into yourself, no matter what anybody or anybody is talking or saying on the outside of you, it will come true.
Yes.
Different. I'm different. My track and my path and what I represent is different from those who came before me. And I had to live a life so that I could understand how to be present for it, honor it, and navigate the space.
I love that. That was very, very powerful. And I know that you lived that, and that's literally the actions and the things that you went through and that you took place doing. So that really will help me. I'm going to remember your answer and I'm going to use that. So thank you.
Absolutely. And I want to say to you, it's all about grounding yourself inside of the love of yourself, which then allows for you to surround yourself with the people who will love and support you.
Yes.
Tell us all about the sports history of your family.
So my dad was a professional football player for 16 years. And my mom was a professional ballerina in New York, from South Africa. And they met each other at, I think it was an event called Night of the Stars. And she was dancing and he was accepting an award.
I've been there. I've been to that event.
Yeah, so
I'm probably old enough to be your father.
That was definitely where their relationship started and where my background of professional sports comes from my mother, my father, just meeting that one night on just a special event and then having a family and then there's kids going into sports and just from there, literally.
Awesome. I see that you have fashion in your blood and I have always had it in mine. Where does your fashion sense come from? When did you begin to understand that fashion was a part of your voice?
I'd say that my fashion came to me in about 7th grade, 8th grade. I kind of started going to the Goodwills a lot and just finding things that I really thought nobody else would have. Because I was tired of going to, when I was in middle school, Wet Seal was the thing, Forever 21. Like, I was tired of going to these places and seeing girls walk around wearing the same things. So I was like, okay, I'm going with a completely different look. And I really, really wanted like this.
We found very similar because I had my vintage, I call it my vintage moment, which was in high school because it was the only thing I could afford. Continue, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Truly, it was. It was the only thing. I remember like I would get some money and I'm sitting here thinking about like, okay, I got to get lunch at school today. And then I'm over here doing some online shopping, but I'm planning on going to Goodwill after. And I really just wanted this, this look like I didn't care what I was putting on. Like I'm putting the first thing that I see on. And that's kind of what it came to, my look. It's I can never ever pick outfits the night before. I kind of just have to I have to get in that stressful moment where I'm running through my closet and I'm throwing something with something. That's like the best way for me to dress. So that's
too. And aren't you 6'1"?
I am 6'1".
Yeah, so you have a lot of places to go with your fashion, honey. You got a lot of places you can go with that long, lean, gorgeous, with your gorgeous self. It's fabulous.
So I was looking at some of your red carpet looks and I was very, very just blown away and in love with them. And so I wanted to know, like, what does it come down to when you're getting ready? And I know you have a stylist. Is it kind of like you know what you want and the stylist has it, or they're picking everything for you?
Well, it is twofold. I am now in a position where it's a give and take. I'm working with Ty Hunter.
Okay.
was the mind behind Destiny's Children and Beyonce. You know, there is an unspoken, well, it's actually not unspoken, it's very well spoken a lot about how men and masculinity, particularly Black men and masculinity, you know, this conversation for me was dangerous and toxic. And so, you know, from the moment I could comprehend thought, there was something wrong with me. My family sent me to a psychologist after kindergarten every Wednesday because my mannerisms were too feminine and they were nervous. You know, so for the first 20 plus years of my career, I was trying to fit in to be masculine enough so that I could get a job, so that I could eat. You know, I'm tired of everybody else's expectation of who and what I'm supposed to be. I'm tired.
Tired of conforming, yeah.
I'm tired. So I'm just gonna snatch myself out of it and be me. And what's interesting is that the gender nonconformist style evolved. I mean, you know, I was obsessed with my auntie's high heels when I was a kid. You know, my mother is disabled. One of her biggest dreams was to be able to wear high heels, which she never was able to wear. So I wear them now in proxy for her, for what she couldn't do. But like, you know, as I got a big gig called Kinky Boots on Broadway, and I played a drag queen. And it was the thing that I was running away from for my whole life.
Yeah.
That feminine side. It was the thing that everybody told me would be my liability for my whole life. And it was. For decades, it was. They were right for a long time until it wasn't. The goal is to like smash that glass ceiling and like get back to my original dream, which was to be the male Whitney Houston. So I was out looking for some looks, and I stumbled across the designer Rick Owens, his flagship store in New York. And I walked in, and I was just so mesmerized by the art. It's art. Fashion is art, and I am an artist. Once I allowed myself the permission, once I gave myself the permission to do and be whatever I wanted to, the earth moved. It moved. Because now the sky's the limit. Now it's like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Are you ready for Tokyo?
Oh, I am so ready. I want to go to Tokyo so bad. I've never been. I have like goals of shopping and finding a samurai sword. I just need to go out there.
Good. Well, we're excited for you. I'm excited to watch you there.
We're still trying to hear what they're gonna do with the protocols and just the final say and everything. So waiting for that is like a bit anxious because I'm sitting here plotting on Japan. I'm like, okay, look, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna meet some people here, get their numbers there. I'm like, I'm gonna have some pen pals so we can send each other stuff. Like, yes.
Well, I look forward to watching you. This conversation has been amazing. It's so great to meet you, and I can't wait to. I got my second vaccine shot, so. You know, when you get where do you live?
I live in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas?
Yes.
All right, well, when you get yours, I'll come to Vegas.
Okay.
I'll come to New York and we'll have a good kiki. How's that?
Yes, thank you so much. I'm very honored and blessed to be a part of this show, a part of this interview. And I really would love to meet you soon. So I'll let you know when everything happens.
The feeling is mutual. The feeling is very mutual.
I want to say good luck to all of my teammates on Team USA, and let's go get the gold.
Get the gold!
Let's get the gold.
Good luck to Team USA. I'll be rooting for you.
Thank you guys for having me.
Well, hi, everybody at Angel City Sports. It's Carson Kressley here from RuPaul's Drag Race. I know that some of you guys are fans, so thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it, and all of us are sending you good vibes. I know this is a difficult time, and I know your games have been COVID delayed, so I just wanted to remind you that, things are going to get back to normal eventually. And keep training, keep positive, keep having fun, keep working towards your goals, and stay Angel City strong. And I hope I get to actually come and see you guys sometime. Angel City Sports sounds amazing. And don't forget, you guys are amazing too.
Hey there to all you Angel City athletes, Angel City Sports athletes. It's Sean Astin here. I'm an actor. I was in the movie Rudy. Rudy had dyslexia, and yet somehow he worked with his friend, and he didn't give up, and he ended up going to the University of Notre Dame and playing football. So I have a lot of special feelings in my heart for people who, adaptive sports athletes, any athlete really of any stripe, but particularly those who have other challenges. I just send you my hearty support and encouragement. I know that this year's competition got adjusted, but that's okay. We're all doing what we can. You have the ability to be patient and be focused and be disciplined and be strong. And so it's not easy, but it's possible. So go get them.
Wait, I'm gonna have to move the computer. My name is Asher, and I'm from Palm Springs, and I'm 9. And I have spina bifida, and I've been at Angel City games since I was 2. I thought it was 3.
You were 2.
Oh.
Okay.
And some of my favorite sports are wheelchair racing, and tennis, and the swing. What's the swimming called?
Swimming. It's just swimming.
Oh. And javelin, and discus, and shot put. I do so many sports, and I love all of them. Now we have a very special song Now we have a special song performance. I was like, performance. I hope you enjoy.
Hello, Gold Meets Golden. I'm Laura Pausini from Italy, and I'm happy to be here supporting the athletes of the Paralympics and the Kids Angel City Sports. And good luck to Team Italy for the upcoming Olympics and Paralympics. Today, I would like to dedicate to you all a very special version of EOC Scene, a song that I wrote with the young Warren, with the amazing voice of Blake Stadnick.
Hi, this is Blake Stadnick from the TV show This Is Us. Whether you're part of the visually impaired community like myself, the greater disabled community, or any community, you deserve to be seen for your many, many gifts.
When you feel like no one understands you, I will. When you think no love can never heal you, mine will. Quando impari a sopravvivere e accetti l'impossibile, nessuno ci crede, io sì. Non lo so, io Che destino è il tuo? Who you are, you can't hide from me. I want you to know that you're seen. Quando tu non sai più dove andare, sto qui, scappi via o alzi le barriere, sto qui. When you feel like you're invisible, I'll see you through it all. I want you to know that you're seen. Non lo so io che destino è il tuo, ma se vuoi, se mi vuoi, sono qui. Nessuno ti vede, ma io sì. All alone in this world, we all long to be heard. Don't think no one knows what you feel. I want you to know that you're seen. 'Cause I see che destino è il tuo, ma se vuoi, se mi vuoi, sono qui. I want you to know that you're seen. Nessuno ci crede, ma io sì.
Hi, everyone. I'm Clayton Frack.
Bahar Sumac.
Ezra Frack.
And we, along with our friends and family, are the founders of Angel City Sports, an adaptive and Paralympic sports organization. We started the organization back in 2013 and were inspired by our son Ezra and his pursuit and really love of sport.
We're so happy to be working with Gold Meets Golden as our charitable partner for this year's virtual games. We are loving the conversations between Paralympians, Olympians, and our celebrities. We hope you guys are catching a few of those.
Here at Angel City Sports, we provide year-round sports equipment, training, and competition for people with physical disabilities. So kids, veterans, adults, doesn't matter. You're welcome here at Angel City Sports. We do so many sports: wheelchair tennis, wheelchair basketball, track, swimming, archery, surfing. It doesn't matter. We do it all. My personal favorite is track and field. I just made the U.S. Paralympic team headed to Tokyo this summer. But one of our favorite things is finding new athletes, people who didn't know that there was sport for them and didn't know that they had this community that we have for them.
And at the end of the day, as any nonprofit needs to operate, we need supporters, we need volunteers, we need donors, but most importantly for us, we need athletes. If you know anyone living with a physical disability, please send them our social media tag, Angel City Sports, or our website, angelcitysports.org. We'd love to have your support.
ultimately, we do what we do because we believe in the power of sports to transform people's lives. We've seen it with our own son. We've seen it through all the events that we do through Angel City. We're talking about up to 15% of the US population that has some kind of physical disability, whether it's congenital, like my son was born with his physical disabilities, or through an accident, through sickness, illness, cancer, diabetes, whatever it might be. This is a huge chunk of the population that never knew that sports was for them. And I think Nelson Mandela captures beautifully the essence of why we do what we do in a quote from him that says, sports has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire, the power to unite people in a way that little else does. Sports can create hope when there was once only despair. That's why we do what we do. We thank you for being there through this journey with us, supporting us, and being a part of the Angel City family. Thank you. And the last and final thing we'd love to say is thank you to our sponsors. Our sponsors include
Zappos Adaptive and Therabody,
Fashwire, Herradura,
Red Bull, Deloitte, and That Neck Pillow.
Thank you to our sponsors, Gold Meets Golden, all of you for supporting our Angel City journey.
Hi, my name is Adriana Castro, aka Itty Bitty Beast Mode. I'm 12 years old from Tucson, Arizona, and spina bifida is my superpower.
Hi, my name is Asher. I'm 11 years old, and I'm from Big Bear, California.
I've been doing Angel City Sports for a year, and my favorite sports are wheelchair basketball and tennis.
When I was 8 months old, they amputated my leg. And then when I was 5, I got introduced to Angel City Games and made all sorts of friends and could do all the stuff I never thought I could.
And now we're going to introduce two couples.
One in Hollywood and one in sport.
Actors Jennifer Goodwin and Josh Dallas.
Paralympian Roderick Townsend.
And Olympian Ty Butts Townsend.
Hi, I'm Kenny Butts Townsend.
And I'm Roderick Townsend.
Hi, I'm Josh Dallas.
And I am Jennifer Goodwin, and we are here with Gold Meets Golden, benefiting Angel City Sports. When I first talked about this, I was like, it's so great, it'll be like a double date. It's been on in the past 14 months.
I'm looking for other couples to hang out with.
Yay!
I was asking Jenny some questions about you guys because she had done some research, and I said, so do they have kids? And she said no, and I was like, oh well, how old are they? And I was like, oh, they're professional athletes, so they're going to be a lot younger than us. And then I got depressed.
this was the moment.
Then I got depressed because then I finally realized that I will never be a professional athlete in any sport. And not only will I ever really be a professional athlete in any sport in real life, I'm also too old to ever play one on screen.
So just to clarify, you realize this today.
This just happened.
Delusion is a big thing in Hollywood.
So in 2016, when I went to my first games in Rio, such an awesome experience. But my wife and I, we actually met in 2016 as well. But during that entire time, the first show that we watched together was Once Upon a Time.
Yeah. And I actually thought you guys were around our age until I realized I did my research, and I was like, no way. When I was in high school watching He's Not That Into You. I was like, wait, she's a little bit older than me, but you look great, by the way, both of you.
Thank you.
Lights and makeup.
We have therapy this afternoon, guys. But also wait, because I went down this rabbit hole. It's wild what we can now Google. And you guys, your first date, by the way, was at Magic Kingdom.
Yes, actually. So, as I mentioned, so we met on Instagram. I almost said Facebook. We met on Instagram, and literally the first time we talked was on a Wednesday. She lived in South Florida at the time, and I lived in Flagstaff, Arizona. Like I said, the first time we talked was on Wednesday. I bought a ticket to Florida on Saturday. No! And 2 tickets to Disney World. Yeah.
Right.
later, I told my mom, I was like, I'm moving to Arizona. I was like, he's the one.
Yeah.
And by the way, I realized that I was going to marry him when we were at Disneyland.
Really?
Oh my goodness.
I think it's because I was on, we were on the ride Big Thunder. And as we were coming over a hill, I put my arms up in the air and I went, this is the best day of my life.
I was like, I'm going to marry that guy.
Because at that point, it was the first time I'd ever been to Disneyland, and I was already 35. But it was the greatest day ever.
Yeah, it really is amazing, and just to be able to have that be our first date and to just continue to build upon that. So every year we have another honeymoon, and we go to Orlando, and we just spend time as big kids.
Have you been to Disneyland in California?
I've not been to Disneyland in California.
You'll love it. You'll love it.
Double date.
Yeah. Double date.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah,
let's do it.
The question about meeting on social media is, does that mean that were you guys seeking out a partner in your business?
Not necessarily. I'm
seeking out a partner.
Yeah.
I was like, if a guy wants to talk to me, we're gonna start as friends, and if it's too boring for you, then kick rocks.
Yeah, and I was at the point where I was like, yeah, it'd be nice to have somebody to buy flowers for, and to I really wanted a relationship, and it really worked out well. And I think that us both being track athletes is awesome because we understand what comes with it.
Yes.
And I'm sure you all can relate as well from a perspective of, sometimes you have to travel somewhere and do something. It's not all fun and games. Like, although it's cool to be able to have that be part of your job, just because you're in Jamaica doesn't mean you're on a vacation. So as actors, how did that help strengthen your guys' relationship?
I mean, I think, it goes back to what you said. There's definitely an understanding of what the other one does.
And highs and lows and time away and unpredictability.
I mean, I've just been away for 6 months shooting a TV show that I'm on called Manifest in New York, and here in Los Angeles. So I've been away for 6 months, and I don't think every partner is going to be as understanding with that kind of thing if they were outside of the business. Well, I had a question that I'm so fascinated with athletes and your ability and the ability that you have. So what my main question is, for both of you, when did you know that you had this superhero ability to jump? Like, when did you figure that out?
Were you doing this as kids?
Yeah.
She did.
I did. I started around age 8. I didn't start high jump till age 10. I was that little country girl running in the streets and bicycling, climbing trees. Didn't know I was actually exercising because kids don't go out and play much these days. But when you're doing that, you're building muscle. And next thing you know, I'm racing all the boys at school and recess and in the neighborhood, and I'm realizing I'm pretty fast. I started out as a sprinter and I was winning. I was making little boys cry.
Yeah, it was much different for me because as she mentioned, she had all these accolades. When I went to visit her mom back home, she had all these high school national champion trophies and plaques and so many cool things, all American. And meanwhile, I was in high school, I was a football player. And this is all, with the disability I have. So at birth, the umbilical cord was wrapped around my neck. So the doctor had to break my collarbone and dislocate my shoulder in order for me to survive. In doing so, all the nerves in my brachial plexus were damaged. So like my right arm, I can't fully lift it. And I don't have as much strength in it. So to get a scholarship with a disability, we all have these obstacles in our lives that we're all overcoming. And that's just what it was for me. We all have something. So it wasn't anything that I ever got or even wanted to sulk on. But while I was in college, I remember I was at a track meet and I competed against a guy named Jeff Skiba, super amazing Paralympian. He's missing one of his legs below the knee. Awesome. My coach called me and said, hey, what do you think about doing the Paralympics? And me just not knowing anything, I was like, well, I have both my legs. I don't know how I'm going to.
And I thought that too.
I was like, I don't know how I qualify for that, but what's up?
What are you asking me to do?
And this was in 2014 or 2015, sorry. And so I compete against other athletes who have arm impairments, whether they're missing a hand, missing an arm, or have the same disability as myself. Literally, so this happened in 2015, and it was just I won the world championships, broke the world record, then went in 2016. And so it happened so quick. You know how sometimes things are just flying by and you don't really get a chance to smell the roses. So it wasn't until 2016, after I got back, that I was like, wow, that was a lot that happened.
It was really just new for me to be dating someone that was just so great at what they do that when he told me he was world champion, I was like, you know, I'm like, and then I really see him perform how good he is and how far away the next person below him is, and I'm like, wow, this is so easy. Like, man, this guy is awesome. Like, he's the coolest guy I know.
Oh, wow. That's so nice.
But like on the flip side of things, if you were an athlete, I mean, unfortunately, you just realized, but had you not,
retired coach.
Okay, if this was 10 years ago, because we obviously know, if this was 10 years ago, when you were in your prime, physical fitness, and you decided, hey, I'm going to be an Olympic athlete, what sport would it be in?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good, what?
Wait, I have to tell you the story of my only athletic experience. Have you ever come across Nintendo's it's called World Class Track Meet?
Yes.
This was my sport. As you recall, there was a big mat on the floor with these dots. It kind of looked like a twister board, right? It was hooked up to the Nintendo. And my sister and I figured out that if you propped up on your toes and you just like did this with your heels really quickly, that Nintendo would think that you were Swift. And then when we would get to the long jump, we would jump off the mat, stay as long as we could without it like faulting us.
Yeah.
Fouling us? I don't even know the terminology. Yeah. And then we would jump back on.
I mean, that's how you guys train, right?
Right, that's what you do.
It's all about efficiency. It sounds efficient, that's for sure.
Right. But speaking of training, actually, what did you guys do with the delay?
What did you do this year?
Oh my God, I gained like almost 20 pounds.
So,
like everybody, everyone.
We were really fortunate. So I already do a lot as it is. I mean, I substitute teach on the time. It's just really fun to be able to be, you know, around kids and to be able to have an opportunity to see them in a light that, you know, they usually wouldn't just see an Olympic athlete or Paralympic athlete.
Yeah, that's cool.
In that setting. So,
in the Jefferson County school system?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Wait, it is for real Jefferson County?
Yeah.
Yes.
For everyone listening to jump in, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I was born there, and they live in Louisville, Kentucky. All right.
What a
so cool.
Small world. Small world.
I wanted to ask you guys about that. Like, what do you guys do on your downtime? Like, what are some of the things that you love to do to help you recharge, you know?
This is what he does. Yeah. This is taking years off of my life. He stands in our street and our kids are on their bikes and their scooters and they go downhill at top speed and he catches them and twirls them around and sends the bike or the scooter on its way.
Yeah, so maybe that's
takes years off.
Lord, ever. That sounds like fun.
I can't wait to
maybe that's my Olympic sport, you know.
Yeah, hammer throw. Hammer throw.
I mean, you guys are athletes, though.
Now I'm embarrassed to say that actors, we have jokes which we obviously shouldn't make about how like doing a season of television is like running a marathon, which really we could not handle marathons, and so we should not be making such a joke.
Yeah. I would not be a runner. That's for sure. I would not be a runner. That would not be my Olympic sport.
Okay, I have Tokyo questions. Because actually I'm not up to date on where we are with our fans going.
Yeah, so they're only allowing, they're not allowing any foreign spectators to be at the games this year, which is kind of tough because, as you all know, she competes in the Olympics, I compete in the Paralympics. There's about a 2-week break in between. I mean, I should be jumping at the Olympic trials this year as well, so fingers crossed I can go to both games, which would be awesome. I kind of have to at this point if I want to be able to be there to support her.
Wow.
And do you miss the fact that the stands aren't full?
Yeah,
because I know as an actor, particularly in the theater, you know, there's a whole relationship between the actor and the audience, and there's a vibe and an energy that sort of happens between the two. Is that the same for you when you're competing? Or
well, it's slightly different for able-bodied athletes than it is for Paralympians.
We practice alone.
Yeah.
There's usually no one at the track.
Yeah, it's just her and I out there. We have to get a speaker because otherwise we just hear
just crickets.
And so we were talking about Disneyland.
Once the world opens up again, and let's go to Disneyland together.
Yeah,
we'll have a great time.
I think that now the folks at Angel City Games have done so much to be able to, you know, make opportunities like this a possibility, and it's just amazing to see what all those folks have been able to do. But it'd be awesome to be able to have, you know, some of those guys involved as well. It'd be super cool, you know, to have them.
Oh my gosh!
Let's fund it.
Absolutely.
And I know that they're based in you know, Southern California and LA. I mean, but they've been doing so much for the movement of Paralympics. And as somebody who, like I told you, when I found out about Paralympics, I thought, well, I got both my legs. So to be able to see the dynamic that's happening with these young kids who have all these opportunities being presented as we get closer to LA 2028.
Doing the Golden event, that we were really educated about the group. And we were really blown away. And we were invited to that event last year and met so many wonderful athletes.
It's so amazing to be able to see, because our worlds are not much different. And it's really cool to be able to see the dynamic and the relationships that come from it. And was it last year when I met MJ? It was the year before I met MJ Rodriguez from the show Pose. Yeah. And we were watching that show at the time, and I was like, my wife wasn't able to come. I was like, Ty, you won't believe who I just met. And, it was awesome because we ended up having indoor national championships in New York, and she came and watched us compete, and we're really so it's just awesome to be able to see all these relationships that are being built and friendships that, you know, are going to be able to last a lifetime from just such awesome groups being able to bring us all together.
Yeah, right.
Well, we definitely want to come see you guys whenever we can. So that will be really exciting.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We need a whole 80s training montage.
Hi, I'm Jackie Heath. I'm 15 years old and I'm from Los Angeles, California. I was diagnosed with epilepsy when I was born, and so I was always very limited to sports as a kid. And it wasn't until I was about 8 years old, I was offered to have brain surgery at UCLA Hospital. And the surgery was a success. We got rid of my epilepsy and I didn't have seizures anymore. But sadly, I did suffer a stroke. And today I now have left side weakness and tremors. And so a lot of the time I'd be classified as like a cerebral palsy athlete, and I can't do a lot of everyday activities such as tying my shoes or putting up my hair. And so it wasn't until the 2016 Olympics when I was so in love with sports, I just wanted to go back into sports. And my mom was always like, well, like your disability is not going to help like you like getting back into sports. And I was watching actually the 100-meter race, and I saw an ad for the Paralympics, and it was a wheelchair racer. And I was like, Mom, look, there's someone with a disability like competing in sports. I'm like, that could be me. And so we reached out to the Paralympic organization, and we were introduced to Angel City Sports. And now I would almost call Angel City Sports like my second family. I currently do a lot of sports with Angel City Sports, and including archery and track and field. And I'm proud to say I am the national record holder for javelin. In our continuing series of In Conversation, this next story will be really fun. An award winner himself for The Normal Heart, and also starring in one of my favorite TV shows, American Horror Story, here is actor Matt Bomer. I'm still looking forward to win my first Paralympic medal, but this athlete has won 17 Paralympic medals. Here is Tatiana McFadden.
Hey, I'm Matt Bomer, and welcome to this Gold Meets Golden event benefiting Angel City Sports.
Hello, everyone. This is Tatiana McFadden. I am so honored to be part of Team Deloitte, who is helping me get ready for the Tokyo Games this summer. Hello, I'm so happy to be here. Huge fan.
Same. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Gold Meets Golden event, maybe, 2 years ago.
Long time.
And I feel like I've been close to you because I just watched the Rising Phoenix documentary on Netflix, which was mind-blowing and so inspiring and moving, and I was crying and laughing and inspired. What an amazing story.
Thank you. I am so happy that you watched that.
Like everything else you've attempted and overcome in your life, you pretty much did an phenomenal, unbelievable job on the film. So congratulations. And
thank you.
And for anyone, if you're watching this, please watch that documentary. It's essential viewing, really.
I don't have any background in acting, in producing, in doing anything with movies, but I do have a voice. And I wanted to make sure that the Paralympic story was going to be told in a certain way. Because I feel like society has this like visual of what disability is and what it means. I'm so happy that you watched it.
My favorite thing that was said on that documentary, one of the athletes said, the Olympics are where heroes are born. The Paralympics are where heroes come to compete. And it's a bold statement, but it's backed up so much by the stories of these athletes and their stories leading up to the games, and then how phenomenally they're able to compete in these games. And the stadiums are packed.
Yeah.
London was, insane. Are you looking forward to the same in Tokyo? What's the situation there? When is that?
Well, in Tokyo, we're not going to have spectators, like foreign spectators, come in to watch. So it will be a little quieter games. But I am looking forward to competing against, because I really do believe that sports bring the world together. It's a weird time, but I've been really lucky and really fortunate to have stayed so healthy and to get outside and to continue my training. So when it's go time, I'll be ready.
Ready, I know you will. I feel like, as an actor, I know you're training all the time. And so it's just such a mindset. You can get on, not autopilot, but it can just take up so much of your life. And as an actor, if you're fortunate enough to work, you can be going from set to set. And this year has allowed me time to actually breathe and reset in some ways. And if there's any silver lining, it's been that I've had this great unobstructed time with my family. Have you had any moments like that where you've been able to take a little break from training and had any reflections or insights?
Yeah. So much like an actor, you are always on the go and you know your schedule pretty much in a year or two advance. So we're the same way. I do about 4 to 6 major marathons a year. So I do Boston, London, New York, Chicago, Tokyo, and Berlin. But it's also been really nice to kind of to take the time to like slow down. It's probably like acting. You just keep adding on shows and movies and you create this wonderful job for yourself.
That's like doing a 5-act Shakespeare play over and over again, though. Sometimes when you're on set, it's kind of like little sprints. You do a take, they don't usually last longer than a minute or two at the most. So, but yeah, that's amazing. What an incredible story. I think there are similarities. And one of the things I love, first of all, I don't know if they told you, but I'm a huge fan of the Olympics. So Gold Meets Gold is such an amazing opportunity for me because I get to go and be the fan and ask people about their stories. And there are so many commonalities because when you're an athlete and when you're an actor, I feel like you work so hard, you pour so much of your life and your soul into your dream. And sometimes it can go down to one moment. As actors, I feel like we have a little bit of, leeway because, you get more auditions, hopefully, or, you know, maybe you'll get more than one take on a set. But it is that one moment. And especially in the Olympics, in the Paralympics, you get that one moment when they, you know, fire, whatever they call that electric gun. I would say fire a shot. But
yep.
What do you, I mean, and you don't have to give away any trade secrets, but what are you telling yourself in that moment? Are you trying to just be as clear-headed and open as possible, or is there like a mantra you're repeating?
Yeah, so I think I'm just so thankful for just being there and getting to do what I do. So I don't know if you know like a little bit about my story, but I was adopted by two wonderful moms. And my mom was actually on a work trip to Russia. So she ran an agency called ICA, International Children's Alliance. During the time that I was born in '89 was the fall of communism. And being born with a disability, that was like absolutely like a no-no. I got around by scooting around, by crawling around. My parents put me into a local sports program called the Bennett Blazers. And that's where I tried everything: ice hockey, downhill skiing, wheelchair basketball. And finally I tried wheelchair racing and I loved it. And what I noticed about being in that sports program was that I was getting healthier, right? Not only physically, but mentally. So that's why I love being part of Angel City Sports. And that's why I love sharing my story and being an advocate, because the more youth we can get involved, I mean, LA is hosting the Olympics. We need those 10-year-olds right now because they're going to be 18. That's what I think about on that starting line. How did you choose to become an actor? I mean, obviously we all can be anything that we want to be.
Well, I was very much an outdoors oriented kid growing up, and I was really into sports. My father was a professional athlete for a brief period of time, so we were really encouraged. I think it's probably one of the reasons why I love the Olympics so much. It was such a huge moment for our family. 4 years, particularly the Summer Olympics, because we were off school, and it was a time when we were all together as a family, as fans. So, and having grown up participating in a lot of different sports, I think that's one of the reasons I appreciate what Paralympic and Olympic athletes are able to achieve. I'd always loved movies as a kid. I had a really active imagination. I'd actually been very shy. I'm still a pretty shy person.
Really? I can't tell.
Well, I'm working on it. So they had this elective, and I had this great teacher who taught us improv, and I saw her get up on stage and do this really funny improv. And I thought, oh my gosh, that looks like so much fun. And I just took to it.
I love what I do. I'm very obsessed in a good way. I don't know if you feel the same about acting. And
I get total tunnel vision. I have to remind myself to pop out of it and engage with my family.
Yeah, you're like, oh wait, let me pop out of the white collar season and focus on my family. Okay, so obviously we have some similarities in love and passion. Mine is, for racing. Yours is in acting. What are some of your favorite roles and why?
Oh, wow. It goes back to what you said. You become so obsessive that hopefully whatever you're working on is your favorite role at that time. And you never know how it's going to land in the zeitgeist so I try to make it doesn't always work out that way, but I try to make it whatever I'm working on at the time. Sort of like, whatever race you're probably working on at the time, you're focused in on the strategy for that race, what your mindset's going to be when you're there, but also be open and available to the moment should something happen during the race. So I really feel like I try to be obsessive about it in a way that makes whatever I'm working on my favorite thing.
And do you have like a specific, just that one movie or show that you were like, I was made for this, and it like changed your life completely?
Well, I think it would have to be white collar because it's still a job. I mean, I think we started that. I think I did the pilot for that in 2008. And it's still a job that people want to stop me on the street and talk about or tell. It's funny because, you know, it was the best cast and the best group imaginable, which I think goes such a long way in the overall experience. We had so much fun together on that show. It's really like a family.
I don't know if I could do that. I would like shy away and be like, don't look at me. So it's amazing talent that you have.
I think you'd be great. You know, it's so because we complicate it in so many ways, and there are so many ways we have to, techniques and things we have to use to get around to it, especially when there are lights and cameras in your face. And but it's really just about imagination ultimately, you know. So Tatiana, tell us about Angel City Sports, and they do so many incredible things for our youth. Can you tell us a bit about them and what they do?
Yeah, it's awesome how Angel City Sports is tied to the Gold Meets Golden because it's such a great opportunity for people to see what Paralympic athletes do. For me, I feel like if I didn't have that youth program, I wouldn't be confident in myself. You know, I wouldn't really appreciate for the person I am. I think I would be so stuck into, well, why was I made this way? Or why did this happen? And I really feel like if we can change the shape of the world into sports, where we can change the equality in sports, we can change the equality elsewhere.
Tatiana, I look forward to giving you a big hug when I see you in person again. And I know it may be a little quieter in the stands in this particular Olympics, but I hope you know that I will be cheering extra hard for you from home when I'm watching and cheering you on.
Thank you.
Hi everyone.
Thank you so much for Team Deloitte setting this up. We really appreciate this opportunity for us all to get together and get to know each other.
Are we able to swear?
Philip, are you wanting love and attention?
Yeah.
I'm Nick.
Yes! I've been waiting too long. So great to meet you guys. I'm a huge fan.
I would like to apologise on behalf of all the men on this that we did not know we were meant to dress up.
Look at me. I wouldn't count this as dressed up at all. So,
but I have a question for you guys. I started watching like episode 1 and I was like, oh my God, this is like so good. Like, I want to ask you guys if you expected like footballers to be like real big fans of Ted Lasso, because I feel like it's huge in the football world.
Yes.
No, we did not.
That's so cool to hear, but no.
My favorite Zoom.
There was one episode where you did like an ice bath up to your neck, and I was like, that would never happen, like ever.
Well, how do you get in the ice bath? How do you fit in it?
You go to like your hips.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the way I do it. Not for Roy.
You were like
very angry, very hot. I just wanted to ask you, you know, as a mum myself as well, being the outstanding sportswoman that you are, do you think you'll nudge your daughter to be into sports, you know, from your field?
I feel like you don't know until you have like a child. Like she like picks up the ball in her hands and I'm like, no, not in your hands. Like kick it.
Oh my God, that's brilliant. You are full on sports mom already.
Yeah.
Is there any part of our collection of chaps on our team that remotely fool you that they're sportsmen?
Yeah, one.
Phil Dunster did score one goal that was truly sensational. That was an amazing moment. We have to give you props for that.
Thanks,
and it was
Julie.
real.
Thanks. It was real. It was after 17 takes, but
yeah.
They literally.
Sometimes it takes 17 shots for one to go.
Very elegant.
Yeah. Do any of you guys have soccer background though? Like, do you play as a kid at all, or like no?
I played. I mean, it's embarrassing for me to say this to you guys, but I play. I'm an enthusiastic footballer.
Okay, but I want to know like a non-football related question. Like, Hannah, did you actually eat the biscuits, and like how good were they?
Great.
Good question. Good question.
They were epic.
The whole time, like, they look so good.
For you two, what's your like go-to snack? What's your guilty go-to snack that you're allowed
I
to?
have a guilty relationship with like goldfish. It's random, but like I can like put my hand.
For Hannah, goldfish is a potato chip biscuit type thing, not an actual, not just grabbing goldfish out.
We don't have that here.
I love that Brett saw my shock and disdain just then.
Crystal just walking around eating raw fish out of tanks.
I'll just sit here with my goldfish like this as I told you.
I was genuinely traumatized by
You
that.
did it, Crystal. It was genius.
We filmed at a few stadiums. Does anything kind of prepare you for that, especially when it's a massive crowd?
But I feel like once the whistle blows, it's you and your team. I kind of block everything out, and I'm like, you know what? I hear chants in the subtle background, but at the same time, it's like I'm paying more attention to my teammates communicating with me and me talking back to them. And then, whistle blows, and you're like, that many people were here watching us? Like, that's pretty cool.
I have a question for both of you. When was the moment that you realized you wanted to do this professionally, and what was it that triggered it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my story is like kind of not weird and wild, but like, I didn't get involved in this game because I was triggered to reach this level. I was just like, this sport is really fun and like, that's really cool. So here I am.
It's probably similar to like you guys acting. Some of you probably found it later, some earlier, but pretty much like together 24/7. I mean, Chris, like before COVID hit, like how many days were we together?
Oh, you're basically like my sister. I mean, they're out of a month. We are with each other like 3 weeks out of the month. Like, and we do it when we're
tired of this.
I just wanted to ask you guys, actually, because of the whole lockdown nightmare, how do you keep yourselves both physically and mentally fit and healthy? Because I would imagine if you slip too far past 0, it's a hell of a long way to get back up to where you guys need to be.
I'm in my 30s, young 30s, but still like my knees don't just like get warmed up easily. Like I can't just like stop playing for a month. But I was actually coming back from pregnancy. So I was also like figuring out that whole thing.
Wow.
Wow. Congratulations.
Here's something I'd like to know, if I may ask you. Well, I ask you both, but this is, I'm afraid, particularly to Alex, because I'm a Tottenham fan, and my dad is Tottenham, till he dies. And like, if I'd have dated someone that was a Chelsea fan, he would have disowned me.
Don't take for Chris. Sorry.
On you first.
Yeah, but tell me, is there a noticeable difference to the culture of like the locker room on a British side and in the American side?
British football on the women's side has kind of like really grown in a short period of time. I feel like in the US, we have had popularity over the last 10, 15 years. So I feel like it's just starting in England a little bit more.
Things are definitely moving along in England, but what's great about the U.S. women's national team is like we're always pushing the limits. We're always ruffling feathers.
All right, y'all, I have a question for you. Phil, Brett, if it's Richmond versus the U.S. women's national team, who's winning? And I mean, do you have a game plan against us? I mean, we're pretty good, so like you can't just wing it. There has to be like
your boss is listening, so you better answer that you do have some kind of game plan.
We bring the Chaos Hammer, we bring the Sandman, we bring Leaky Faucet, we bring all the special moves that you're not expecting, and it's still an absolute fucking massacre.
Yeah, it's bloodshed. It's carnage.
Oh my god, that would be so hilarious. So our boss being annihilated by you.
It would genuinely be. It's bloodshed.
Okay, so who's going to be appearing in season 2? Like, I want to know. Give me the deets.
With silence. Zip.
No, come on, nothing.
Zip. Hands.
Okay, well, at least when is it premiering? I'd like to know that.
July the 23rd.
July the 23rd.
Which is also, we hear, a big day for you guys too, huh?
Yes,
it is. Ceremonies.
I mean, that is an epic day, my friends.
Yeah, July.
Big day now. That is
An
a
Olympic opening ceremony. We hope that you lose to Team GB in the final. Yeah.
Oh, nice, Philip. Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, for all the lovely words, thank you guys so much. And simultaneously, while we're playing our games, we're going to be watching season 2, and it is such an honor to be on this call with you guys.
Thank you. Good luck to all the athletes in Angel City Sports. We're rooting for you and continue to do the good work.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Lots and lots of love.
And go to it, man. Go to it.
My name is Coach Ted Lasso. Thanks again so much for having us. And hey, I was just realizing, you know what would look real nice next to one of them golden hats from a hat trick that they have yet to come up with, or the golden boot that Megan's won.
What the
gold medal?
Hi, my name is Michaela. I'm going to be 11 next week, and I live in California. I'm an amputee. I have a prosthetic leg that helps me do sports. I learned how to swim at Angel City Sports. I do swimming, track, and javelin. Now we have a special musical performance. This is John Legend with his song Never Break. We hope that you enjoy it.
I wrote this song, Never Break, for the documentary film Giving Voice. The film and this song first premiered at Sundance. But since then, we've all been in many places we never thought we'd be. With this, the song has taken new meaning for challenges and changes, some wonderful and some we thought might destroy us. But the meaning remains the same. When we're faced with the unexpected, even the impossible, we resolve that we will never break. Oh, yeah. We got a good thing, baby. Whenever life is hard, we'll never lose our way. We both know who we are. Who knows about tomorrow? We don't know what's in the stars. I just know I'll always follow the light in your heart. So I'm not worried about us, and I've never been. We know how the story ends. We will never break. We will never break. Build on a foundation strong enough to stay. We will never break. As the water rises and the mountains shake, our love will remain. We will never, no, no, never. We will never, no, no, never. It's more than a good sensation. It's more than a passing fling. You are the explanation of what love really means. It's bigger than you and me. It's 1 + 1 = 3. When we talk about forever, then forever's what we mean. So I'm not worried about us, and I've never been. No matter what may come our way, we will never break. We will never break. Build on a foundation stronger than the pain. We will never break. As the water rises and the mountains shake, our love will remain. We will never, no, no, never. We will never, no, no, never. We will never, no, never. We will never, no. The world is dangerous, so it all it is. There's nothing we cannot take. We will never break. strong enough to stay. We'll never break as the water rises and the mountains shake. Our love will remain. We will never, no, no, never. We will never, no, no, never. We will never, no, never. We will never, no. We will never, no, never. We will, no. Thank you.
Thank you, Slip, for giving me a pure silk sleep mask. I can't wait to use it. The pillowcase, mine gets dirty like every 3 months. This is gonna keep it clean and it's gonna be so comfy. I just know it. And these hair ties, so cute. I love scrunchies. Thank you.
After a long day, I sure do like my neck pillow. I have a lot of Legos, and I have a Lego person with hair that looks like this, and then I do this, which makes me look like a Lego person. Thank you, Zappos, for giving me these awesome clothes, and I also like the magnet buttons.
Thank you so much, Theragun, for this massager. I will definitely be using it at all my track meets and for my training for the future Paralympics.
Thank you for supporting us kids at Angel City Sports.